Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you haven't yet, your Mercury retrograde is about to start on the 31st of October. If you want to get your retrograde survival kit for half price versus full price, you can do so on the website address below. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So if you, for those of you that I wanted to say, happy birthday to you. If you are celebrating this week, I wish you all the best and brightest for your solar return. May it be a time of true abundance and happiness for you. Please absolutely make sure that whatever happens, whatever planet is retrograde, whatever is going on, that you do your best, your absolute best, to enjoy yourself and live a bloody good life. With that said, this week, your intuition, your message from my intuition and my meditation, when I went into it, what I saw was a dog. And dogs for me always represent friendship and loyalty. And this week, that's what you're going to be paying attention to, right? Mercury is retrograde in your sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or ascendant Scorpio, this really does suggest that in some way, shape or form, you are looking at the people that have demonstrated loyalty to you. You will be noticing where loyalty seems to be shaky from certain people, or you know how it's coming through. And this isn't to say that you're judging anybody. It's more just a case of you're going to be very heightened in your awareness of who is loyal and what loyalty actually means to you, and also what it means to other people. Because sometimes, you know, what's loyal to one person might not necessarily seem, you know, the depth of it might be a completely different thing. So let's have a look, see at your destiny card. This week you get the Magician, right? This is you in your ultimate power. This is actually, the Magician card represents the planet Mercury. So it talks about communications. This week you will find that you are not pulling any punches. You're not holding back in any way, shape or form. Now, Scorpios, when they give you the tea, I mean, it can be brutal at the best of times. This week, you could find that you are saying it, you know, really, really plain. You could find that, you know, some people are like, damn, like, you know, usually if I want the truth, I'll come to you, but I didn't want to get slayed. You know, it could really be like that this week. You are communicating from a place of depth. You're very, very perceptive at the moment. You could also find yourself, because it's Mercury retrograde, right? You could find yourself being misunderstood for what you actually mean this week. So if you have a really deep observation about someone or something, unless they're the sort of person that really knows you, I would think twice about sharing it. And that's not to say that you're hiding anything or holding anything back, you know, to be selfish or to be nefarious. It's more a case of, if somebody doesn't know you this week, your perception could be so deep, and because there is that capacity for miscommunication, it could come across as you being really, really sort of quite mean. All right, so just keep an eye on that. Now, in terms of you personally, this is a very powerful week for your own spiritual path. So pay attention, give that some energy, give it some thought, give it some, you know, give it some juice. Your direction card, fucking hell. Sorry, and I say that because this card is coming up left, right and centre. This card and the Hermit and the Four of Swords. I think I might have to do another key to the week because it's really, really interesting to me. So your Judgment card, Blast from the Past. This will likely for you guys come through the guise of an email or a letter. And it could be that somebody is, you know, asking for your help. It could be that somebody's asking you for information on something that you thought was over and done with a long time ago, right? Now, the other thing is, because you do have this loyalty word, and I did see this thing, it might be this week, and I will say this to you, I'm not saying that you do this often, but you know, you are Scorpios, and I'm going to call it how I see it. It's not a week to test people's loyalty. Right, and when I say that, like, obviously, you know, you always need to make sure that somebody is actually being who they are, who they say they are. this is not the week to actively go out of your way to set somebody up to test whether they're loyal or not, because the chances are with the current transits you might lose that, and it will just be because they think, well, that, you know what, just to spite you I'm going to do the opposite, or just to spite you I'm going to do. So this is not a week for that. Don't toy around with it. It really isn't worth the energy. All right, and the chances are it probably will backfire or bounce back, so just don't do it this week. That's my advice to you. Now, your insight card is the Three of Pentacles. Lots of learning going on this week. You could be getting, a lot of you could be getting some really deep downloads. For some of you, you could have visitations from ancestors this week. This is, I mean, this is a very powerful week for you guys anyway, because of all the stuff that's happening in your sign. Please check out the weekly general, because it will make a lot of sense to you guys especially. If you haven't seen it, don't forget to check out the video that I did with Richard Swatton about it's called A Walk Through the Zodiac with Tarot. It's about the death card and Scorpio, because we're in your season now, right? So check that out. But your insight card with the Three of Pentacles, there could be a lot of internal spiritual learning this week. There could be a lot of downloads. You could be getting information that just comes seemingly from nowhere. This is a time for a lot of you to advance. If you're not writing, you probably want to think about that. If you're not keeping a journal, even if it's just for this week, write down everything that you feel, everything that you intuit, everything that kind of goes through your mind or your lifescape, because you'll be very surprised when you read it back at a later date. All right, your Three of Pentacles though, yeah, I mean, with the Magician card and the Judgment card, there's an initiation of some sort taking place this week. It's almost like the universe is handing you some sort of a baton, you know, and I would say that it's a peek behind the scenes, but it feels even deeper than that. It feels like something is, you know, you could be welcomed into something this week. Just be discerning about whether it is something you want to tie yourself to for the long run, for the long haul. But yeah, if any way, shape or form, even if you don't have the practice, honor your ancestors this week, because the chances are they could bring you some sort of a gift, some sort of intuition, a dream, a message, all of that sort of stuff. All right, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.